continue our series on the power of belief and how powerful our beliefs are. Jesus said that, really what you believe happens. What you believe in your heart is how you will experience your life. Those are some profound words that he said. And so we're continuing to talk about that, and this is the fourth part of that series. So let's get started. I don't know how many horse riders we've had in here. I've rode a horse a couple of times. But if you've ever rode a horse or you've seen movies where they ride horses, how do you get a horse to change directions?
Pull on the rope.
Pull on the rope? Yep. We can tell he doesn't know how to ride a horse. Pull on a rope?
No, I wrangle horses.
Yeah, when you steal horses, you just use a rope to steal them with, and then you...
When they're wild, I catch wild horses.
But it's called a rein. The reins, not like the reins we have here, but they're E-I-N-S, the reins. Anyway, and on the reins is a what? A bit. There's a bit in the horse's mouth. Where does a bit go? It goes in his mouth, right? And then basically it's something like this. When you do this, you're going to go that direction. Isn't that right? How many know if I did that to you, you would go that direction? If you've ever watched football on TV or ever played football, did you ever play football, Eddie? Did you ever play? Didn't play, but you watched it. Well, we're about the same size, and I played, so I wasn't very smart. And anyway, in football, of course, you have a helmet, and then it has a guard in front of it. Back when I played, a lot of them just had one little guard, and your face was really exposed. Nowadays, they got a real nice cover for you. But in that guard, in football, it's an illegal penalty. It's a 15-yard penalty if you grab a guy's face mask. If he's getting by you, he could be a powerful, strong runner, and you could be a little guy like me. But if you get a hold of his face mask and grab him by the face mask, he will do whatever you want him to do. You can just bring him right to the ground. And so they realize, well, that's illegal. Plus you can break people's necks. So they decided you're not supposed to do that. But yet you see it from time to time, and they still do it. Because this area, if this area will kind of, whatever you do, it'll take you in that direction. It's just the way our body throws everything else off. It doesn't matter how big or strong you are, it throws it off. So we know that a horse is that way. Big, powerful, strong horse will do whatever you want him to do with that bit. And we also know, the ship's the same way. How do you change course or change headings? A big, huge, let's say, an aircraft carrier. How do you change course or headings? Rudder. Anybody know? The rudder. A little rudder. Rudder on the ship, who knows how large it is depending on the size of the ship, but compared to the ship, it's very, very small. A little rowboat would have a little, very small little rudder. But wherever you move that rudder, that large, huge, overwhelming, overpowering ship goes. Well, the Bible says, and many of you have heard me say this before, but the Bible says our tongue or our words, the things we say, are very much like or exactly the same as a rudder or as a bit in a horse's mouth. And that your words will set your course. What you say will determine the direction you're heading. So it's very important then to know what we're saying, what we're talking about. Or what I'm going to use, the word I'm going to use today is what we call things in life. See, we're talking about the power of faith or the power of belief in our heart to change lives, change situations, change events, change us, change our experiences in life. And that power that we're talking about is sparked or gets started by our words, what we call it. If you want to change anything in your life, I don't care what it is, anything, let's all say it together. Anything, I don't care what it is, anything. You read the life of Jesus, and he changed things constantly. Things that seemed impossible to change, he changed. Because he believed what we're talking about today, and he taught us how he did it. And the Bible says to change anything in your life. If you want to change anything in your life, if you want it to improve, if you want it to get better, if you want bad things to go away, anything in your life. I'm not talking about magic, I'm not talking about instant, but I'm talking about change your course, set a new course, set a new direction. If you want to change anything in your life, this isn't magic, but it will begin just like a rudder moves a ship. It's not magic, but it begins to move that ship. That bit begins to move that course. And what you call any situation in your life will move that situation. If you would like to change anything in your life, change what you call it. And it will respond. This is what Jesus teaches when he teaches faith. And we see that in the book of James, and we don't even need to read it because I just basically said everything that's on there. All right, Brandy, can you go to page 1? So we're talking about in this series, our texts have been Matthew 8, verse 13, and the New Living Translation says, Then Jesus said to the Roman officer, Go back home because you believed it has happened. And the young servant was healed that same hour. And then last week we talked about Luke 6:45, where Jesus says, We're like a fig tree. Human beings are like a fig tree, and that is, or a fruit tree, and that is whatever's inside comes out. Whatever's inside us is what we will have in our life. The inside produces the outside. How many knows that's true with a seed? Isn't that right? Whatever's in that seed produces the kind of tree, and whatever's in that seed and in that tree produces the kind of fruit. And there's really no options to that. God has set it a certain way, and this is the way it is. Okay? And so Jesus said, hey, guess what? You're the same way. In verse 45. A good person then, in verse 44, that's what he was talking about, a fruit tree. And verse 45 says, and we looked at that last week, a good person produces good things from the treasury of a good heart. An evil person produces evil things from the treasury of an evil heart. What you say flows from what's in your heart. Notice he ties that in, what you're saying and what's in your heart. So why do you keep calling me Lord, Lord, when you don't do what I say? I like that verse because basically he's saying, look, I'm glad you're a Christian. I'm glad you're following me. I'm glad you call me Lord. But if you are going to be a Christian, go ahead and get the benefit from it. And the benefit is begin to adopt what I believe and what I teach, Jesus says. And what he's teaching here is, listen, the inside produces the outside, just like a fruit tree. The inside produces the outside. And he says human beings have the capability of producing good things or evil things because of whatever they choose. See, we have a choice in the matter. But once you choose your seed, you no longer have a choice. That seed's going to produce after its kind. And what we're talking about is our seed then is our belief, whatever's inside us, our interpretation of events, and then today we're going to add to belief and interpretation of events what we call it, what we say it is. So we know for sure